How many times have I heard the tone and the line? Stacked wood is stacked security. Heat you cut yourself warms you twice. Once when you split it, and once when you burn it. And that's no joke. Chopping wood ain't some weekend lumberjack looking for a selfie. Let's get into the real thing. Season long process of fueling your home. I remember as a child, I say child, teenager stuff, my grandmother having a wood burning stove in the house, pot of water always on the stove. I thought it was just so we could always have coffee or whatever she wanted. Found out it's to keep humidity in there. I understood. Wood dries things out. But you know what? We had to split wood. We had to stack wood. And we had to make kindling. And we had to do all those things when we were kids. And it was just part of the thing because that was how heat got in the house. We started in the spring, so we had it in the fall and the winter. It was just part of life. And that's what we're talking about today, cutting heat and growing grit. All right. That's right. We're going to get out there and that gritty skills this week, which is what we're talking about this week. Step number 3, building your skills toolbox. And today we're just going to be getting right into it. It's about saving money, building resilience, and letting honest sweat teach you something about grit. Here's what we're going to cover: choosing the right kind of wood for your climate, Chainsaw 101, basic safety, maintenance, and the fuel mix that keeps your saw growling and it's not sputtering. And I know Terry's not with us today, but this one's for him. How to dry, stack, and estimate cords for the season. And of course, the seasonal challenge of cutting and stacking 1 week's worth of heat. So pour your coffee, lace up the boots, and let's get into it, everybody. Right off the bat on a Tuesday morning, here we go. One of the first things we got to do is we got to choose the right wood for our climate and for our needs. So let's start with this. Not all wood is created equal. If you're relying on a wood stove or a fireplace to keep your home warm through winter, you've got to know your species, your wood species. And there are two basic types of firewood: there's hardwood and softwood. Okay. Hardwoods, oak, hickory, maple, ash. They burn long and they burn hot. These are the premium logs, high BTUs, British thermal units for those who all of that. But anyway, it's heavy, it's dense. And if you're in a colder climate up north, especially, but hey, even down here, got to zero last year. Colder climate with longer winters, this is the type of wood you want. All right. Now, softwoods, pine, spruce, and fir, they light quick and burn fast. They're great for kindling or even shoulder season fires, but you'll go through them twice as fast. Now, there's a key factor that matters just as much as the species, and that's moisture content. Wet wood doesn't burn. All right. Used to I hear a guy, a friend of mine, pastor and whatnot, say, he'll say something really good. He'll say, well, if that don't get your fire going, your wood's wet. And there's a reason to that, because it smolders, it wastes energy, builds creosote in your chimney, and frankly, it's a little bit dangerous. So even the best hardwood is useless if it's green. All right. A good rule of thumb: season your wood for 6 to 12 months, more if it's oak, less if it's poplar. We'll come back to drying and stacking, but first let's talk about getting that wood on the ground. All right. Okay. That's the first way you gotta have. Gotta have a good chainsaw. All right. There are a few things that say homestead power, like firing up a chainsaw at dawn. Ooh. But before you rip that pull cord, let's have a straight talk on safety. Let's go through a safety gear checklist. I'm lacking in this department. I bet Terry's not anymore. Kevlar chaps. These can save your legs. I'm sorry, Terry. I shouldn't jab at you. Terry, for those of y'all don't know, had him a little incident, you might say. But anyway, Kevlar chaps saved your legs. Might be a little inconvenient at times, but worth the protection. Steel toe boots, because you're going to drop around on your foot eventually, so you better be ready. And I'll tell you a personal story. I had chainsaw kind of this stuff and got my toe, and thank goodness I had steel toe boots. Anyway, hearing and eye protection because chainsaws are loud and wood chips fly. Yes, they do. And gloves, better grip, fewer blisters. It's just kind of one of those necessary things. The number one rule of chainsaw use is respect the saw, like a lot of other dangerous things. It's a powerful tool, not a toy. Always keep both hands on it. Keep the bar tip away from solid objects. Kickback is real and it's scary. And make sure your stance is solid before you cut. Now, your saw is only as good as your maintenance. So here's some basics of that. Keep your chain sharp. A dull chain is dangerous and pretty frustrating, to be honest with you. Clean the air filter after every few uses. Something I got to get better at right there. Check your chain tension before and after each job. It should snap back but not sag. All right. And always check your bar oil levels. A dry chain burns out fast. Well, now let's get into fuel. I burn a chain or two. Keep them out of the dirt, too. That's another thing. But let's get into fuel. Most homeowner grade saws run on a 50 to 1 fuel mix. That means 50 parts gasoline to 1 part 2-cycle oil. Get yourself a measuring bottle and label your gas can. Don't guess, because burning straight gas will ruin your saw pretty fast. If mixing fuel feels intimidating, there's many brands out there offering pre-mixed options, and I do like them. They cost more, but they're convenient, they're shelf-stable, and it sure makes it a whole lot easier. But anyway, bottom line, treat your saw right, and it'll last for years. Treat it wrong, and you're wasting money and risking injury. So, we were talking about stacking wood and drying wood earlier, and let's just get right into that. Let's say you went ahead and felled the tree. You went and bucked it into rounds, hauled it out of the woods. Now comes the heart of the firewood formula, splitting and stacking. Now, splitting can be its own little therapy, by the way, whether you're swinging a maul or running a hydraulic splitter, which I'm in huge favor of. Don't own, but I'm in a huge supporter of the hydraulic splitter. Uh, that sound of wood cracking open, there is something satisfying about that. Now, when it comes to drying or seasoning, as they say, the key is airflow. Now, this is how you stack firewood right. 1, keep it off the ground. Use pallets or old fence posts, or maybe you have one of fancy metal racks, or even just a simple rack, something to keep it off the ground. Stack it in single rows, if possible. Crisscross the ends for stability. Now, this one's a key, and I didn't know this. Face the prevailing wind. Air movement is your best friend. All right. Cover only the top, not the sides. You want rain off, but airflow to go through. Now, if you've got time and you're planning ahead, stack in the spring for burning in the fall of the next year. If you're behind, split smaller pieces. They'll dry faster. Remember, wet wood is always a gamble. Now, let's talk about quantity. All right. How much is a cord? A cord is a real unit. It's a real measuring thing. It ain't just something we made up out there. It's 4 feet high. It's 4 feet deep, 8 feet long. That's 128 cubic feet of tightly stacked wood. And if that sounds like a lot, that's because it is. But many people sell what we call face cords or ricks down here in the South, down where we're at. Now, need a rick of wood. Now, a rick of wood or a face cord is just one row. It's 4 feet high and it's 8 feet long, but only as deep as the wood is split or the round was cut. 16 to 18 inches, typical. Sometimes 12, but and you really need to know your stove, your fireplace, or your stove, or whatever you're burning it in, and how much of a log can it handle. That's a big thing. But anyway, if you're heating exclusively with wood, plan for extra. Don't cut it close. A good motto, stack more than you'll think. All right. Now, when I say that, here we go. By the way, that rick is a third of a full cord. All right. Third of a full cord. Now, how much do you need? I think I seen that in chat window. It depends. A small house. Now, this is you're heating your exclusively, but I think a small house, good insulation, and a high efficiency stove, you might need 3 or 4 cords for the winter. A big house with drafty walls or an older stove, you might burn 6 to 8 cords easily. Okay. Like I said, if you're heating exclusively with wood, plan for extra. A good motto: stack more than you think you'll need, and you'll never regret it. Okay. Now, here's where the challenge: cut and stack 1 week's worth of heat. Okay, that's a challenge. We're not going to ask you to fell a forest or build a woodshed overnight, but here's a challenge that's practical and empowering, and honestly a bit addicting. All right, cut and stack 1 week's worth of heat. That's it. Take inventory. What would you burn on a cold day? Maybe a wheelbarrow's worth in the morning, and again in the evening. Let's say it's a quarter of a face a cord per day or a quarter rick per day. That means your challenge is to cut and split and stack about a face cord, enough for just one hard week of winter. Okay. Maybe you already heat with wood. Maybe you've never held a maul in your life. Doesn't matter. Do it for the skill. Do it for the security. Do it for the feeling of looking at a wall of wood and knowing that I did that. And as you're swinging and stacking, taking a moment to think about this. Every piece that you handle, every piece you split is one more ounce of independence, one more dollar you're not paying to a utility company, or one more skill you've built into your life. Okay. Now, here's the thing: growing grit. You see, firewood is more than fuel, it's rhythm, it's a seasonal living. It's your body learning to work again, your mind learning to plan ahead, and your soul learning to be satisfied with honest sweat and the slow build of security. In this world of instant gratification, and like me, central heating and air at the flip of a switch, firewood says, not so fast. You want this heat? You got to earn it. You stack it and you carry it in every day. But the reward, well, that's something else. Because the crackling stove in the evening, the warm chair with a book, the smell of seasoned oak catching fire, well, that's peaceful. It's provision. But it's grit and action. And grit, folks, that's what we need more of. We live in a time where comfort is king, but that comfort has come at a cost. It can make us soft, makes us fragile. Firewood work toughens the hands and the heart. It's self-reliance in its rawest and simplest form. So let's take a quick recap. Choose the right wood: hardwood for heat, softwood for kindling, and always, always seasoned. Learn your saw, safety first, sharp chain, and the right fuel mix. Stack smart, off the ground with airflow and cover only the top. Know your cord math and always plan for more than you think you'll need. And take the challenge of cut and stack 1 week's worth of heat. We're not just building wood piles out here, we're building character. All right. Everybody needs a little grit in their life. So let's find somebody who's ready to step outside and swing an axe and get the warm the old fashioned way. So we got to keep stacking, keep growing, and the path to self reliance, walked one log at a time. Oh, y'all guys are killing me. Well, that was today's sharpen the tool skill box, the skill toolbox, you might say, the things we learn how to do. All right, it's always good to learn a new skill or push the limits of an old skill, and that is step number 3: is developing out your homesteading skills box, or your skill, that you know how to do. Put that in plain simple. Let's get into roll call, because man, the comments section's been blowing up. A few people were in here real early, way early. All right, because Scotty, I think he opened us up. Let's see. And I like this, Scotty, by the way. Good morning, tablers. Let's see what this day shall bring us all. The Lord has woke us all for a reason, so make sure we put the day to good use. I like that. All right. Everybody say good morning. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, of course, Scotty. Bro, good to see you in. Oh, and I don't know, sure. Rebecca's back to putting her hands to work, back to doing that yarn. She's getting to work. Somebody's getting a blanket. Anyway, let's see. There's Robbie. Good morning, buddy. And let's see who else we got in here. Good morning, Ed Kirkpatrick. Glad to see you in with us, buddy. Let's see. There's Shane Cody. Good morning, nephew. There's Jeff Muddy Acres, Homestead. Good morning. Let's see. Let's see. What's heat? LOL, I turned mine off a while ago, all due to outrageous prices they charge. Yes, yes, they do. Whether it's gas, which I've seen later you do use, electric, ain't none of it cheap. And don't worry, Robbie, I knew you meant it. Good morning, Troy Sutton. Glad to see you back with us. I understand that can sometimes we get busy, things get going on, but appreciate you going in. How much is a cord of wood in your area, Scotty? We got no answer. Let's see. Good everybody saying good morning to Troy. Yes, hickory is one that lasts longer. Good call. And it produces more heat. Yep, it's one of them hardwoods. Uh, Got to find it, but it's out there. Good morning, Joy Bartlett. Glad to see you in. Let's see. My home don't have a fireplace. There we go. How do you heat when needed? And Scotty said he uses gas. Yep, unfortunately. Mine's electric, and believe me, I've seen the electric bill. I've got to get my fireplace back in service so that we can uh, see what it say. I don't use any of the grit. Okay. It took me a minute to see what you were saying. Let's see. Protective gear except safety glasses occasionally. I'm usually got my gloves. That's a pretty good one. I wear glasses and they're impact resistant, so that's kind of part of what they are. But yeah, all right. Let's see. I've always been surprised that folks don't know how to look for the natural cracks in wood to split it. The wood will tell you what to do. Yes, it will, and I will promise you, you will wear yourself out hitting it in the wrong spot. That axle ball will be bouncing, and you're just going to be burning sweat. And good morning, Janae. Glad to see you in this morning. Let's see. My wood ain't stacked that high. Yeah. Well, you know what? Mine's not either. It's not what I've got out there. I got a whole bunch cut in big sections. I need to get it down into the usable and then get it split up and get it ready. And this is the time of year to get it done so that it's out there. Let me see. We'll get that off. I thought a cord was a plug in the wall, Scotty. Oh, well, anyway, there's that too. Uh, Scotty's got a great sense of humor. Yes, Shanae, he does. All depends on how old your house is, too. The house I'm in right now was built in the 1800s. Well, that's cool in its own kind of way, but yeah, the older the house, the less insulation. And let's see, yeah, let's see how much you cut. Depends on where you're located. Scotty and Jeff would need more. Yes, Jeff probably more than any of us. Uh, and they would need a lot more. Good advice here, Cody. Once you wear gloves and swinging them all, you will get blisters. Guaranteed fact. Uh, I hate splitting malls. They're fun, but season with salt, peppers, and garlic. Good one, Scotty. I like that. There we go. Uh, yeah, and this one right here, Troy, it's very good. When possible, harvest firewood for the following year. Stay 1 year ahead to let it season well. That's absolutely correct. Uh, let's see. Another piece of good advice. Let's see. Oh, good morning, Tracy. Glad to see you in this morning. Let's see. Yep. Okay, that's all caught up on roll call. All right. Good deal. Well, guys, I hope you're all doing okay. Those that weren't with us yesterday, I hope you all had yeah, $35. You found a Rick for $35. Let me know where that's at. That's man, well, you're over there somewhere else from where I'm at. So say, because man, I see $65, $70 over here all the time. But which anyway. Uh, excuse me. Good morning, E&D. Glad to see you in this morning. Glad y'all are doing well up there. Cypress and cedar woods. I mean cypress. I don't know. I've not messed with cedars. Uh, Again, it's a softer wood, and I'm not sure what kind of how that would burn. I know pine I think it's pine that's real bad uh, for crack for popping and stuff like that. Get a lot of spit out, and you don't want that in your fireplace. But let's see. Ed said, let me see, bring that up. A cord, which, like I said, that's a bigger. That's of seasoned oak goes for around $250 down in his area in Georgia. Well, let's see. What does see? A cord. So let me see. One, two, three. That's 3 to 4 ricks. Yeah, that's says just say four. Four goes into 24. 6. Yeah, that's about what it's about what it would be here too. Anyway, I think. And yeah, yesterday was beautiful there. Well, it was rainy and gloomy and terrible as far as weather goes here yesterday, but we got through it. Um, and Now birch. Let me see. Birch is kind of a. I would think it would be fine. I think that's a more hardwood. I know they use a lot of it, the bigger trees for cabinetry and stuff like that. And it's I think it's a harder wood. I think birch would probably. Uh, there's probably somebody who'd be mad at you for it, but yeah. Good morning, Money Pit. Good morning. How y'all doing, Donald, Lisa? Good to see you all in this morning. But I mean, finding firewood. I always said, the free wood is the good wood, but you got to know what you're getting. I've got a bunch of oak out there that I need to get split up, uh, and ready to go. And then I've got what I call some junk wood. It's these trees. They call them paper trees. I don't know. And I believe it's a softwood. I haven't burned it. I'm curious to see how it burns, but I've got a bunch of it out there. I need to get split up. And start seasoning. I've got some older stuff that I picked up off a guy a long time ago, and it's sitting on a pallet and everything. I need to get a better job of covering it, but every time I try it blows off. Uh, my creek is in the goat cow pen. Anyway, yeah, it rained here hard. Cord equals 8 foot truck bed to the rail, I think. It's funny how that works out. You can find different ways to measure, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it shows or not. I've cleaned them up pretty good, but I was doing mechanic work all weekend. Keith put that out there. I'll share that for those when. So if you look at my hands, you'll know what I've been doing all weekend. I think I got them cleaned up pretty good, but there's still a little bit under the nails. My daughter's van transmission was messing up, and it needed a shift solenoid. Nice little piece of expensive electronic doodattery, and so I had to get into the transmission, pull the valve body, all that stuff. So I spent my weekend tearing that apart, cleaning everything up, and putting it all back together. But good news is it is running, it's driving, and I didn't have any parts left over. So I don't know. Hope I did everything right. But anyway, it took a little longer than it as it always does to do mechanic work, but got it done and it works successfully. So anyway, yeah, working hands. I do when I'm not sitting behind a computer or holding onto a steering wheel. But but anyway, it was satisfying in its own kind of way because what we spent on parts and uh, doodattery. Hashtag doodattery. Yeah. No, what I spent on parts and tools, everything I needed to do it was still far, far, far less money than paying a shop to do that same work. So economics, right there, and having the skills to know how to do a lot of that stuff. And listen, this thing was complicated. It was one of those very detailed things. You couldn't mess it up. No mistakes allowed. And so found a YouTube video that a guy made of doing the process, uh, and watched the videos several times and had them available when I needed them for step by step on a few things. Let's see. Rebecca said the wood here in Missouri for hardwoods would be red oak, white oak, hickory, and ash. And yeah, no spare parts. I guess technically I did, but it was just by design. The wood, let's see, wood here in Missouri. Yeah, those would all be good. Uh, you know. Talked about the no spare parts. Technically, I did. There's these little. I guess technically it would count as a nut, but it's like this little. They're the kind that you just push on, and you almost always have to cut them off. They break or they bend out of shape, and it was just holding this little sound deadening, fire, heat resistant cover on that you didn't even need them. Um, those didn't go back on. So I guess technically I had something left over, but it was by design. So I don't count that as leftover. But anyway, the only thing I got to do now, they're driving it, is I've got to get it in. You have to do a computer hookup to it and do what they call a quick learn. So it smooths out the shifting pattern. But other than that, it drove fine. I mean, it was rocking along. So happy, yay. But anyway, and speaking of cars, let's get into the brain buster for the day. Brain buster. Da, da, da. Anyway, here's the question. If Apple made a car, would it still have windows? Think on that one for a minute. Uh, Uh, I would at least I would have shared. Remember, I never forget Donald working on his VW and coming in and eating sandwiches. White bread had black fingerprints on it. Been there, done that. Uh, been there and done that more than I want to admit. Uh, been there, done that. I was having to be real careful moving around when I did come in the house. It was usually straight to the sink to wash off a little bit, so I didn't put fingerprints everywhere on things. And watching, of course, I mean it was raining, so my boots were getting washed off on the way to the house. Uh, oh, now this is funny. I got to share this. Notice I didn't get all the dirt out from my nails from the night before and apologized to my coworker. She said, "You do know where you work. You're working a garden center." uh, oh, man, that's funny. So I was thinking silver maple or soft maple would be in that group, but it's not. Maple's one of the funny things that you depending on which breed what you get. I have got quite a bit of maple. Um, we took down a maple that was the more of the softer maple, and it every time a storm it was dropping stuff and. Uh, anyway, yeah. So so it burned fast. I cut up some rounds, and I need to go get them and get them split and see how it does. Let's see. See. Uh, Sandwich more tasty. You would have to upgrade the car every year. Yeah, I don't trust anyone in the garden center without dirty nails. You don't trust. That's funny. There you go. Yeah, no kidding, Troy. I mean, that's the thing with the old VWs. You got to get out there and tinker on them. You got to spend time and energy and effort on them. But anyway, so if Apple made a car, would it still have windows? I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Now, quote of the day, which of course is related to the subject, as it always is. Quote of the day: give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Abraham Lincoln, credited for that statement. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. That's a good thing, and that's a tool thing. But anyway, yeah, good stuff, Tracy. Makes us laugh. Uh, Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. And let's have those who joined us yesterday for a special Memorial special. It was a good show, and we're glad you all came in. For those who were sleeping in or out camping or out doing other things, hey, I hope you had a blessed weekend. I hope you things went well for you. Just upcoming real quick, Homestead Festival, June 6th and 7th in Hardison Mills near Columbia, and Modern Homesteading Conference in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, June 27th through 28th. Homesteaders of America Conference sold out of tickets. That's way out in October. So, the speaker list is getting rounded into form for Rendezvous, and things are just shaping up. Anyway, thumbs up reminder. Yes, thank you, Lisa. Appreciate. That's okay, Robbie. I would. I believe me when I tell you that it was tempting. It was so very tempting to sleep in and not be here. But anyway, so folks, there's the first installment on the skills toolbox, building out our skills. Step number 3 in the farm to table self reliance steps. and steps to self-reliance. So building out the skills toolbox. We'll be back in tomorrow with another skill. And we've got 2 more this week, and then, of course, Front Porch Friday. So that is a wrap for today on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us. Well, I'm going to stop before I go any further. Would love to, and love to get up there and come up and see y'all guys. It's the further the drive, the further the distance, the more difficult and challenging it gets to go. And would love to come up and hang out with y'all guys and, see y'all's group of people up there. I know we've got several up in that area that watch or listen from time to time, but it'd be and yes, thanks, Jeff. Anyway, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us. We strive to build toward still building strong communities now and in the future. If you enjoyed this day's episode, like Lisa said, hit the old thumbs up button, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. And by the way, Scotty, I think I love the comment yesterday of what was that when you seen the baby videos. I hope y'all enjoyed those. It was just a little set of humor. There'll be some more stuff, some more of those coming out. I'm working on the next episode with the babies, with baby Keith and baby Ryan. So they will be out. That will be out soon. Usually takes me a little while to get it all built, but having a little fun with the animation and the AI, and I hope y'all enjoy them and just enjoy it. But anyway, let's see. There we go. All right. Well, what I said. Yeah. If you like this episode, don't hit the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble. Till next time, keep your roots deep, your vision growing. Good food starts with great people, just like you. Let's get out and stack some firewood, folks. Let's get out and stack some firewood. Build the skill toolbox. Remember, we are #stronger together. Let's see, #doodaddery got thrown in there. Yeah, a whole lot of hashtags. Anyway, be glorious. Let's see, #sovereignty. God is in control. #strong together. There we go. Positive energy. All those great things. Man, their hashtags are flying everywhere around here today. But anyway, but yeah, #grit. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, and yes, thank you, Troy, as always, for enjoying us. Anyway, as you go out today, be a blessing to someone, even if it's just a smile, make their day. We will see you all on the other side, and we're going to hand this over to Hank to take us on out of here.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.